Okay, let's see. Anyway, now my luck has shifted. I've been offered a new reality show where I do ride-alongs with the FBI. It's called Ugly Sonic, Uglier Crimes.
Really? A TV show? You?
Yeah, is that so difficult to believe?
Oh. I guess not? Yeah, you know what? That's great.
Hey, howdy, hey, awesome people of the internet, and no highs to the people that are just CGI, AI, whatever. Wolfman 47 and of the things that people find creepy and or scary, one thing that not many people really well, lots of people talk about this, I should say, but there is one thing that Hollywood do try to do less of, but in a time when they're where films are having these way over the top budgets and just making these CGI things look weird. Yeah, we're going to talk about those times where in films you get those CGI moments that are just unintentionally creepy, whether it's for different reasons, some not looking greater than others. And, you know, these days we're kind of expecting CGI to not be as cheap looking and actually last longer and not, you know, feel dated. But there are those times where you get that, so where 2000 CGI has kind of made a return somehow, which I don't get. So yeah, I'm going to talk about 10 times where CGI is unintentionally creepy and or scary, because, you know, it's October, it's Halloween stuff, and I'm aware I'm not wearing much, but that's because I'm once again recording this in August. So yeah, let's get to it. It's been a hot day, so yeah. So I guess I'll start with probably the biggest insult to cheap ass CGI, and that is the CGI baby in Twilight. Now, yes, I know, you're probably thinking, why on earth did I watch Twilight? Yeah, I forced myself to watch all of the films, and I hated every single one of them. I found them boring, dull, depressing, and honestly, I think even though most of the actors in those films are good looking, I've seen them in much better things. And honestly, you know, if I want to see more flesh coming from the three main leads, so Robert Pattinson, Taylor Lautner, and Kirsten Dunst, I'll just watch them in other things. Yeah, or just stare at them on Google Images or something. But anyway, what really annoyed me about the CGI baby is that it's one of these it's supposed to be this character that's meant to sort of grow quite rapidly compared to what a traditional human baby would be. And for some reason, even though this is a film that was made on a large budget, they just couldn't afford a baby, a real baby, seriously. And it's kind of embarrassing because when I often talk about this particular moment, I compare it to a Doctor Who episode where it's the 11th Doctor era, and he actually talks to a real baby. And, you know, the fact that Doctor Who, which is just made on a smaller budget, can afford real babies, not just necessarily just one, but two babies, I should add, as according to a Doctor Who Confidential of that particular episode. Yeah, you should be embarrassed, Twilight. Yeah, I don't think I need to say any more than that. So, moving on. One of the most infamous times where CGI has been creepy is in The Mummy Returns. Yeah, you all know what I'm going to talk about here. So, as we know, before Dwayne Johnson became big in terms of acting and so forth, he was playing a lot of supporting roles, and one of his earlier supporting roles, well, supposedly his early supporting roles, we actually don't know because it's not really clear if his CGI form is actually him or not, is playing the Scorpion King, who appears kind of out of nowhere in The Mummy Returns in an attempt to sort of advertise his own spin-off film, which came some months later, and yeah, I won't say any more than that. But yeah, it just looks odd. It looks weird. It looks fake as heck. You can tell it's fake. I mean, I know it was made in the early 2000s, but Jesus, man, it's just, yeah, I'll say no more than that. Now, we all know Robert Zemeckis. He's well known for being that one filmmaker that likes to explore different technologies and ideas and so forth. He's sort of the one that likes to sort of bring in innovation to his films. And when it came to motion capture, he decided to create full CGI films using motion capture techniques, which led to the creation of films such as The Polar Express, Beowulf, and his version of A Christmas Carol. And I'll be honest, while those films are okay on the long run, I can definitely say that the mocap is a bit creepy looking, and even by today's standards, it has not. None of those films has really have been look very dated, and yeah, they're not bad films. Don't get me wrong, but yeah, they're just so creepy. yeah, yeah, you can tell that I've been spending lots of time watching this stuff and just really creeping the heck out of it all. So yeah. Right, so moving on, let's talk about a very terrible film called Catwoman. Yes, there was a Catwoman film. It starred Halle Berry. It had nothing to do with the Batman Catwoman thing. It was originally meant to be a spin-off to Batman Returns. Michelle Pfeiffer was going to appear in it. It was going to be everything about Catwoman that we know and love. And then they changed it and just completely got rid of all sort of references to Batman, just did its own thing. Precious and cats doing stuff and all that. And one thing I didn't quite understand, and this comes back to the sort of CGI baby thing I talked about earlier. They had a CGI cat bringing back Halle Berry, and it's like, can't you just afford a real cat? Because the CGI is looking, and just when you think the cats in the Cats film look bad, I should say I've not actually seen that film, and probably for the best, really. At the time of this vlog, I should say. Yeah, I don't know what to make of that. So, talking about a more recent film now, yes, I feel it's now time I should talk about something that's a bit more recent. The Flash. Yes, it's a DC Extended Universe film, one of the most hated films of the DC Extended Universe, or rather more divisive, because some people like it, some people hate it. I'm of the hate it sort of side, because there's the thing with Ezra Miller that I just can't get over. There's just all that rubbish CGI, and the fact that Michael Keaton probably just came to do it just to get a big paycheck, like he did with Batwoman. It's just, yeah. But anyway, so the climax scene is one of the absolute worst times I've seen CGI being used. The baby thing I can let slide, but this climax I cannot, because it's CGI done poorly. And everything about it is fake. You got all these deep fakes of different actors playing all these different variants of these different beloved DC characters, and some of them are still alive. And you could have probably easily cast them and just have them be there physically, but no, the filmmakers just decided, nah, we're just going to throw all CGI because we got money, we can do it, and yeah, it just looks horrible. I can let go of the CGI babies. I can let go of Superman, of the no mustache Superman, but the climax of Flash, no, just no. Now, Harry Potter as a film franchise came out during a time where CGI was still in sort of early stages, and for the most part, the films didn't really rely too much on CGI. There were moments where it did rely on it a bit or a lot in some cases, but for the most part, most of the stuff you see is very much real. Like even Buckbeak, the hippogriff, was a real animatronic, which well had a little bit of CGI done to him in the line. But yeah, it is a very good film franchise, and I am getting to the point. Don't get me wrong, but the thing I can't exactly really sort of ignore is Voldemort. Now, before all of you jump out at me, I'm talking about the original Voldemort, not Ralph Fiennes when he was cast Voldemort. I'm talking about the Voldemort that appeared in the very first film. Now, I forget the actor's name, but this is... And I know Voldemort at this point is meant to look like a creepy-ass thing. And yeah, you can definitely tell it's a creepy-ass looking thing on the back of Quirrell's head, but it just looks so fake as heck. Like, it's the most fakest thing ever, and it just looks weird and odd, and yeah, I'll just move on from that. So, a few years ago, there was a point where we got ultra-realistic animal characters appear on films, and while most people have kind of forgiven Paramount for giving us that Sonic that we don't really talk about, although if it's in Chip and Dale, it probably is alright if you want to talk about it. Something that I do that at the time I did like, but thinking about it, I'm not sure if I actually like it now, is Pokemon Detective Pikachu. Now, this came out not long after the game came out, and the game and the film are two completely different things. They both feature a talking Pikachu that is a detective, and they solve crimes and that, but they're both very different. Anyway, the ultra realistic Pokemon, I mean, I kind of get why they went with that with the CGI thing, because it's not... You could probably get away with sort of animatronic like Pokemon, but that would probably cost more money than it would with CGI. I mean, I don't know. I'm not an expert on these things, but they just looked really creepy. I mean, you can definitely tell it's Mewtwo. You can definitely tell it's Pikachu. You can definitely tell it's Psyduck, and you definitely tell it's all these other Pokemon. It's just some of them just looked too real to the point where they actually do look more creepy than they actually look in the anime or the games. So yeah, that's that. Going back to many, many years, so before the MCU was a thing, we had the X-Men film series, which inconsistencies aside, some of the people were well cast. I mean, Patrick Stewart as Xavier was well cast. Obviously, Hugh Jackman as Wolverine, he nailed that one well. Ian McKellen as Magneto, and the rest of them. I'm not sure if I'd cast Halle Berry as Storm, but that's just my opinion. But then after the Last Stand, they then started what was going to be a new series of films which would explore the origins of the different X-Men. So originally the plan was that we'd have X-Men Origins Wolverine, and then a film called X-Men Origins Magneto, but that ultimately got retooled into X-Men First Class instead. And in X-Men Origins Wolverine is a bad film, don't get me wrong, really bad film. I know they screwed up Deadpool. They screwed up all these other different mutant characters. I know the X-Men films are known to sort of have the sort of consistent sort of characters that we know and love, but also new mutants in every film. And obviously Hugh Jackman's the only good part about it, and rightly so. But one thing I can't really ignore Deadpool aside is Xavier. Now, Patrick Stewart appears in it, and yeah, his de-aging just does not look that good. It just looks a bit weird and creepy. Yeah, the film is bad enough as it is. We don't need any. So yeah, just throw it in the trash bin. Don't bother with it, I'd say. So going a bit further into the future, the next film is Tron Legacy. Now, for a Tron film that came out many, many years after the first one, and now we're getting another one on the way as well, it's definitely one that isn't without sort of creepiness to its CGI. And I'm talking specifically about Jeff Bridges. Now, Jeff Bridges as an actor is a good actor. He's very good. He does kind of come across as the sort of person with the same kind of voice. I can't really do his voice, but yeah. And in the sort of Tron universe, he plays a character called Clue. Now, bearing in mind that Clue is in a sort of virtual reality universe, so I can kind of accept the fact that he's going to look CGI looking. What I can't accept is then again Jeff Bridges appearing as sort of de-aged as well, and it just looks weird and creepy. So yeah, I don't know. It's not the most creepiest thing I've seen in CGI form. I mean, it's actually not that distracting, but yeah, it can be creepy when you zoom in. And I may as well end by talking about the one thing that I don't like in the Disney live action remakes, which is the non-human characters. Yeah. Now, all these live action remakes that we've got from Disney, they're all dull looking. They all have a sort of thing in common in that they're dull, they're depressing. They're just trying to copy and paste the original film and adding some new things, but not really many new things. And one thing that's very noticeable, and it is very, very distracting for me personally, is the non-human characters. So thinking of the Beast, the sort of anthropomorphic objects in Beauty and the Beast, the sea creatures and the Little Mermaid. Pretty much all the animals in The Lion King, where they just have no emotion whatsoever. And yeah, they just don't look that great. And even the genie in Aladdin, yes, okay, that is definitely Will Smith for sure, but I just can't get over how creepy looking it is. And yeah, okay, it does appear in human form for much of the film, which is good because that means it's less distracting. But yeah, of all the problems with the live action remakes, the CGI, and just the look of these beloved characters, they just don't look like the characters that we've grown up with. Okay, sure, the live action remakes are meant to be there to introduce the films to a new generation, but I can guarantee the new generation of people will much rather watch the original than over the live action remakes. So Disney, just stop making them. They're not going to get you any money. Well, or they will, just not in a way you'd expect them to. So yeah, and that is 10 examples of how CGI can be creepy looking unintentionally. And yeah, it's just something that I think filmmakers do really need to work on better, because while CGI is a great way to sort of cut costs and everything, you can't get away with it in the sense that you can use it to put on everything, because it's the reason why Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania sucked, because it just relied too much on CGI, and MODOK just doesn't look right to me. And CGI can be used well if it was like a sort of backdrop for something, and if any of the Harry Potter films, or even, I don't know, the Lord of the Rings films have proven anything, you can get away with more practical effects over CGI, and only use CGI when it makes sense, and not just use it for the sake of cutting costs or whatever. So yeah, unless you're trying to poke fun at it, that like the Chip and Dale film did, in which case go for it. But yeah, that's just how I feel. So yeah, share your own thoughts about it in the comments below. I'd love to hear what examples you have of creepy ass looking CGI. But apart from that, thank you so much for watching. Subscribe to my channel if you'd like to see more of my videos. I upload videos at 1 PM BST/GMT every single day. So vlogs like this where I talk about pop culture things, show stuff that I've bought, and talk about life in general. And I also do lots of gameplay videos and let's play videos as well. And if you like the video, hit the like button. If you want to share with your pals, hit the share button and leave a comment where the thing is for that as well. See you in the next one. Peace to you all. And if you're a visual effects artist, definitely do a better job of visual effects, because if you're not getting paid enough, then it's just not worth the effort, you know, because studios have these high demands for like making these things look CGI and so forth, but only do it if you get paid enough and actually want to do this. Don't just do it for the sake of it and you just want to be paid. Just bring the passion to it. That's what I'd say. So yeah, all right. Doodles.
Up the bumble man.